Hey creative friends, well I am back in the garage today. I've got a new pattern for you. If you would like to try it, I would love to see it, but it's going to end up being like an abstract flower design, and I'm going to have a base, two base pieces that will connect together in black acrylic. This is the thinner acrylic, 1/8 of an inch thick, and then I'm going to have some red acrylic flower tops just for this abstract art piece. And so anyway, I have designed the files. They will be linked below if you would like to use them. I would definitely recommend that you test it first in some just cardstock or cardboard, just to make sure that you're okay with the sizes. I had done it first here just as a test, and it ended up being too large because my slots were too big for acrylic, and so I did test it in a little bit smaller size, and I think that's going to work. And I'll show you what this looks like whenever we get our pieces cut. And then so just a real simple slot where these pieces will fit together, and then some holes. I have not punched the holes out yet here in the cardstock, but I'm hoping the holes will be big enough for some wire to go through. And so it's going to be 2 colors of acrylic with some wire. But anyway, it kind of gives you an idea of just some abstract art, and then you can change these files around any way you would like. I'm on the second pass of my acrylic. I'm going to keep working on that until it cuts sufficiently. But I do want to warn you, if you're going to use my NC files, and also just using the standard NAJ software, be sure that you get it as close as you can to 100 millimeters in width. It may not be exact, and I think that'll be okay, especially if you want to use a little bit of glue to connect the base. But our slots, to fit together nicely, need to be as close to 100 millimeter as you can get them, and then I think the design will work. There's also I've got below linked an SVG file and the NC file. So it's the NC file that's a little bit tricky, because whenever you first bring it into our NAJ software, it's going to try to make it very small, and so we want to adjust that size. So so this just shows you the outline so far, and these little bitty circles again hopefully are going to be okay for some wire to punch through there. Alright, so let me keep going and get these pieces cut out. Alright, that's very close to have almost cut all the way through. I'm going to run it one more time. Okay, I think it's going to cut through now. I had run it really only like 6 times. These first few times had been from the cardboard, and I had started off with a lower power and a fast speed, but the last few times I had bumped it up to 90% laser at 90 milliseconds. So let's see if that, I know over here on this edge it was already cutting through, and so now it looks like, oh, that's so satisfying. Yeah, it looks like I'll be able to get these pieces out. This one maybe not so much. Oh, well, there it goes. Excellent. Okay, so let me get these out and then I'll show you the base part. Okay, so here's the base pieces cut out, and those circles did just pop right out. And it is a little bit too loose, unfortunately. Of course, I'd rather have it too loose than too tight. But I'm curious, if you use the SVG file in different software, you shouldn't have any issues. So just with the NAJ software, again, I had said get it to 100 millimeter width. You can probably even go down a little bit further. But, you know, if you want to just grab some cardboard that's roughly that same thickness, as whatever your base material is, final base material is, then you'll be able to test it. But again, try using the SVG with some different software and let me know how that goes. Okay, I just wanted to show you, this is the second file, and so I am calling it Flower Tops. And then, of course, the first part was Flower Base, but the Flower Tops, again, I tried to bring it into the NAJ software as a close to 100 millimeters square as I could, but and this just finished cutting out of the red acrylic, and it just took 3 passes. So definitely bump up your power high. So I just finished 3 passes at 90%, 90 milliseconds, and it looks like it's cut through just fine on this red acrylic. And so again, this is very satisfying when they just pop right out. I've got a sticker on the back, so that might be holding some of these in, but I will pop these out. But again, they look a little bit large, so it's not so critical with a Flower Tops file. You can make it any size you want, and so you can go smaller if you'd like, because I think for this size base, they might be a little bit large, but we'll see once we get all this put together. So again, there's the base pieces all cut out, and then here I'm going to take out these red pieces and then take it inside, and we'll get it put together with some wire. Yeah, so these red pieces popped right out. So again, it did have some of the protective covering still on the back, and so that was actually holding on for some of these, but they all popped out nicely, and so I just need to finish getting that sticker off, which that way it kept the acrylic clean while it's burning. But again, if you like the file, feel free to use these flower shapes for anything else too. Okay, so I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm just going to try to use this wire to make it as decorative as possible. And then I will attach all these flowers to the base, and then of course the wire can be bent around to make it into a pleasing abstract design. Alright, so here's my finished result. So my abstract floral art. And that was a lot of fun. Again, it's not very neat with the wire work. I'm really not sure the best way to do that, but it worked. And you know, you don't have to use all 5 flowers. It would probably work just fine with 3. But I hope you like it. And thanks so much for watching.